Happy Thanksgiving, Vikings fans. What's going on, everybody? My name is Patrick Siepman, and welcome in the Vikings Now. Coming up on today's show, we got some great news and some bad news around the latest roster moves made by your favorite football team. Then on the second half of today's program, I do want to do a deep dive on Daniel Jones, go over some of his top moments in his NFL career, and really just talk about what type of impact he will have with this football team. But before we dive into that, guys, if you guys could, make sure you guys are subscribed here to the channel. We are just about 100 subs away from a huge milestone, 43,000 subs. So if you guys haven't already, go down there, hit that sub button if you guys want more of our videos on your YouTube timeline, and also hit that notification bell if you guys want to get a notification right there on your cell phone every single time we post a video. So please help us out. Help us reach 43K. I can't believe we're even at that milestone, but man, if you guys want to help us out, hit that sub button. So let's dive into it. Newest Minnesota Viking, Jamin Davis, former first-round pick. We actually signed him off the Packers practice squad. He spent most of his time, though, with the Washington Commanders to start off his NFL career. But, this is just a typical crazy move. Like, it's kind of MO of signing free agents is like, oh, if you were a former first-round pick, didn't end up working out with your original team, hey, we'll come sign you, and hopefully you play some good football for us. And here's how the raw numbers look for Jamin over the last 4 years. His best year coming in 2022 when he had 104 tackles and 9 TFLs with 3 sacks. So he was pretty good that year, but, the main reason why he was on the practice squad, hasn't really came into his full self, is just really when I was watching his highlights, I just don't really feel like he's got the best instincts out there. But again, if he comes in with Brian Flores, he'll probably get the most out of him. But the most recent year where he played a lot of football was 2023, where he had 89 tackles, 8 TFLs, and 3 sacks. And in that season, his PFF grade shook out like this. So it was in 67.6 overall, 76.1 run defense grade, 77.6 tackle grade, pass rush 71, coverage 56. So clearly he is not an elite coverage guy, but with the Vikings losing Pace to IR, and if you guys did not know that, not good news here for the Vikings. They did placed Ivan Pace Jr. on injured reserve, so he's going to miss at least the next 4 games. But Kevin O'Connell did say today it's not season-ending IR. It is just for those 4 games. So with the Vikings schedule over the next 4 weeks, you got 3 straight home games, Cardinals, Falcons, Bears, and you're on the road in Seattle. But those 2 games after, Packers at home, on the road in Detroit, it would be huge to have him back. So I'm not really too worried that, Jamin's never been the best coverage linebacker. I think he'll probably play a similar role that Pace did with this unit. Obviously having Cashman, manning most of those coverage responsibilities. But, this is definitely a huge loss. And this is the bad news on today's show because, man, Ivan Pace has been freaking awesome this season. Here's how the raw numbers shake out right now for Pace. He's got 59 tackles, 3 sacks, 6 TFLs, and he did have that scoop and score versus the Detroit Lions, which was huge. But, losing Pace is going to be huge for a multitude of reasons. One, you got to have another guy step up who clearly is not as good as him, that being Jamin Davis or Grugier Hill. But, specifically as the defense as a whole, my concern is the Vikings won't be able to completely take away a team's run game now without Pace. Because I feel like, I think a lot of the attention, a lot of the love to Brian Flores' group goes to the typical mug look where they got 7, 8 guys lined up the line of scrimmage. And, yeah, that's great. They are awesome at that. But how do you get in those situations? How do you get teams in those 3rd and longs? It's by being great on 1st and 2nd down. So I'm a little concerned about this. We'll see how they adjust. But, again, this Vikings defense, they've overcame the Christian Darrisaw torn ACL. They overcame what happened to Mekhi Blackman, Kyrie Jackson, and obviously J.J. McCarthy. So hopefully they're able to overcome this injury. But we have seen this team without Pace in the lineup. They're not the same football team in terms of stopping the run. So that's going to be something this weekend against a very good Cardinals team to keep your eyes out on, because that's their bread and butter. Cardinals, they want to be physical. They want to run the football, and without having Pace in the lineup, the rush defense will definitely take a step back. But they also made this move. Gabe Murphy. If you guys remember, UDFA out of UCLA, he was activated to the 53-man active roster. And, first off, it was a big shocker that he was a UDFA in the first place because he was awesome at North Texas. And then once he transferred to UCLA, he was good there as well. And he's got 74 tackles in his college career, had 21 sacks, most of those coming at UCLA, 38 TFLs, and 4 forced fumbles. So, my take on him, hopefully Kwesi just works his magic again. And hopefully Brian Flores gets the most out of him. I don't know if he's going to get any real run at the edge spot, considering we already see Dallas Turner. He's not getting a lot of reps because of how good Patrick Jones, the second mainly, has been, and Van Ginkel and Grenard. Like, he's not going to take away any reps from those guys. But pretty interesting that the Vikings decided to elevate him over somebody else. But, I'll take it. Kwesi's knocked it out of the park in terms of free agency moves and also, UDFAs. So I'll ask you guys this. I'm pretty curious on this one. Grade the Vikings GM, Kwesi, A, B, C, D, or F. Now, I understand drafts have not been his strong suit, but he's also, in my opinion, probably brought in the best free agency class in Vikings history. So kind of want to know where you guys are at. Give me an A, B, C, D, or F down below in the comments section. Now, coming up next, Daniel Jones. We're going to be deep diving into his start to his NFL career. But first off, I do want to tell you guys about today's presenting sponsor, and that is PrizePicks. Now, if you guys download the PrizePicks app today and sign up today, when you plug in promo code CLNS, you guys will get $50 instantly after you create your first $5 lineup. Now, what is PrizePicks? PrizePicks is the best place to get real money sports action with over 10 million members and billions of dollars in award winnings. PrizePicks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Run your game all season long on PrizePicks. Now, if you guys want to make any Vikings, Timberwolves, or Wild game a little more interesting, PrizePicks is the best way to do so. Create a lineup and put some cash back in your pocket. So download the app today. Use code CLNS. Get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Download the app today. Use code CLNS. Get $50 instantly after you put your first $5 lineup. But massive shout out to PrizePicks for sponsoring today's show. PrizePicks. Run your game. All right, I do want to go over some of Daniel Jones' best moments as a New York Giant. After the Vikings did sign him to the practice squad, he is reportedly going to get to Minnesota on Friday, according to Kevin O'Connell. But, DJ, he had some great moments in the league. He also had some bad moments. But, hey, I'm a positive guy. I just want to focus on the positive. So, Daniel Jones, his first start in the NFL was fantastic. Against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the road. You guys see Ndamukong Suh in the background of this photo. But, man, DJ, 336 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns. Like, Giants fans after this game probably saying, we got our guy. We got our guy. Obviously, that's not how it ended up playing out. But still, he has the potential to have games like this. This hasn't happened since, obviously, his rookie year. But still, that's one of his shining moments. And 2021, what about the W against the New Orleans Saints where he absolutely lit it up in this ball game? He was awesome, man. If you guys don't remember this, DJ, he totaled, I believe, right here. He totaled 400 yards in this game, had 2 touchdowns, and his completion percentage was absolutely ridiculous at 70%, completing 28 of his 40 pass attempts. So clearly, DJ, he's got some pop to him. He's got some gamer to him. But, again, these are just his shining moments. This isn't like, going in on his bad moments because we know there is a handful of those. But, hey, just want to highlight some of his best moments. And, another great moment was the 2022 regular season. And, DJ in this year, he was awesome. This is when he had 15 touchdowns. He actually went to the playoffs and took on the Minnesota Vikings and obviously beat us in that playoff game. And that's, probably number 4 for me, his playoff win versus the Vikes. I mean, he had over 350 yards, over 70 yards on the ground. He's actually the first quarterback in NFL history to hit those numbers in a playoff game. But he was awesome, man. Like, we see that dual threat ability. He's clearly a good athlete. He can move outside the pocket. When the play is on time and on rhythm, he can be very accurate with the football. But, when stuff isn't going his way and his confidence isn't high, we have seen Daniel Jones completely turn into a pumpkin. Like, I'm not, making this point that it's like, oh, snap, DJ's going to come in here and change life here in Minnesota. But point being, he can step in, spot start, and at least go and get a win. And another great moment was 2023. This was after the Giants got blasted week 1 versus the Dallas Cowboys 40-0. And then week 2, they traveled to Arizona, and the Giants, they were getting killed in the first half. But DJ turned it around. He had another 70% completion percentage game. He had 3 touchdowns total, had 59 yards on the ground. Now, I will say, if the Vikings are, for whatever reason, Darnold gets hurt and DJ has to step in and play, I would like Kevin O'Connell to almost go towards a more of a run-first offense and kind of use the strength of DJ and just kind of have Jefferson and the weapons be icing on the cake. But again, we're not going to talk about that until we need to. But I do want to welcome Daniel Jones to the Vikings. Give me a skull, DJ. You know, when the Vikes signed him, I wish I could play the song by Lil Wayne, Go DJ, Go DJ. That would be pretty cool. But unfortunately, YouTube will not allow us to do that. But hey, welcome DJ to the Vikes. Also, if you guys want to give me a follow on Twitter, that's the handle right there at Pat Sieps. Hope you guys enjoyed your Thanksgiving. See you guys next time. Skol Vikes.